Hi everyone, Miss Jessica here at Nature Song Montessori, and today we're going to talk about how to set up a small shelf like this in your home with a few activities that are really familiar to your child from practical life. Practical life is a really big area of the classroom, but we're just going to bring in a few that are so familiar to your child because these are things that they can self-select at home. So let's get started. In the Montessori classroom, we call our activities work. We place each work on a different tray, and they can self-select their activity and work on it at the table and then carry it back and place it where it belongs. All right, and then each activity has a different purpose. On this tray, we have basting, which is transferring water with a baster. This activity or work is called pouring, so they will transfer the water from full to empty and vice versa. Okay, and then this activity is tonging, where they will transfer dry materials from left to right with tongs. This activity is spooning, so they will transfer the full side to the empty side by using a spoon. So each activity has different concepts and they're moving their hand in different directions and working on a different skill. So we choose trays like this that have a little lip on the side or a place for them to grasp it with their thumbs so that they're able to pick it up with two hands and carry it close to their body. The tray is a really important part of the setup because it helps organize their work. It's also how they're going to carry it to the table with each piece in its place. Carrying the work from the shelf to the table is a really important part of this exercise because they're learning their careful movements and their balance and coordination. When the child is first starting out with these activities, we place the towel on the tray and a small sponge. We also have towels located in a basket where they can easily reach them in case they make a spill. Making a spill is part of the process, and when they do make a spill, they know that they can go and get their towel from their tray or their basket and clean up their own spill. And it's really satisfying for them to be able to do that and then repeat the work. It really helps them feel like they did it. Okay, so let's talk about basting. Basting is an activity where the child can work on their hand strength and their 3-finger grip, and it's really fun to watch the water being transferred from left to right. And then let's talk about pouring. Pouring is really fun to use with a funnel because they can watch the water slowly drip into the other side from full to empty. And they're working on those concepts too. They're seeing that the left side is full and the right side is empty. And then once they pour the water, it changes. We also have tonging work. So tonging, they get to work on their squeezing skills with their hand, and it's strengthening their hand. And they can use really fun objects like colored pasta or pom-poms or different objects that they can transfer. And lastly, we have spooning. We chose spooning because the children are using spoons in lots of different activities, and we really want them to get that motion because when they're eating things like cereal, it really helps them guide their spoon independently. We use small objects or materials because it takes them a little bit longer to complete this activity, and it allows for that concentration to develop. If these small objects fall on the floor, it gives them the opportunity to help clean up. And it also introduces other activities like sweeping. Okay, so some things you want to be aware of. We have our shelves set up on hardwood floors. They're easy to clean when the child makes a spill. We have towels available, so that's something you do want to have. So usually we don't mix waterworks and dry object works together, the transferring. We usually have them separate, and the reason is because we want to have the water closer to a sink. So if you can put your shelf near your kitchen, that would be great. If you have a hardwood floor or tile or something that's a surface that's not carpeted, that is the best way to go. Because it's easier for the child to clean up if they do make a spill. They can use a mop or they can use their towel to clean up any water spills. You also want to be aware of the placement of your trays. You want to make sure that they are low enough for the child to reach. So on my trays, I've placed this non-slip material so that the cups and things do not slide when they're carrying their work. That's really important, and it gives the child more confidence in carrying their work if it's not sliding around on their tray. So the things you want to notice are Things like if your child can carry their tray independently, they're not asking for a lot of help. Are they able to clean up their own spill? Are they willing to do that with the materials available? And also, if they are successfully pouring with 2 cups, you might want to add another one. So this would be called 1 to 2. So now they're transferring water from 1 to 2 different containers, and that takes extra concentration and focus for that. So they might have mastered 1 to 1, and then you can move on to 1 to 2, and that usually makes them feel really proud of their work. Another thing that you want to notice is whether the utensils that are chosen are fit for your child's hand. So this spoon might be too big, it might be too small, it might not be transferring the way that you had in mind, and you can always change them out and try different things. We have different spoons like a cantaloupe scooper. Sometimes the children like to try this out, and there's different sides that they can use. So you can just try different spoons out. There's teaspoons and soup spoons and different things that might work better than the one that was chosen first. So that's something to observe and notice about your child doing their work and whether they like it or not. And sometimes you can change out the objects and make it fun and inviting. And they really look for the beauty in the materials. So things like colored pasta and things that are really interesting to look at, it really entices them to choose the work. All right, so this is just a basic introduction to how to set up a Montessori shelf in your home with just a few activities to start with. Next time you tune in, we hope to show you some videos on how to present these different activities so that you can get a little more familiar with them too. Thanks for joining us. Bye.